What's going on, everybody? And I hope you've all enjoyed your Friday tonight. Unless you're a Brooklyn Nets fan, what the hell was there to enjoy tonight? This is MYG Jeffy T 85 here. And, the All-Star break ended yesterday, but it kind of feels like that the Brooklyn Nets are still on their All-Star break. Because you would have never known they played a basketball game tonight. You would have never known they actually showed up to play a basketball game tonight. You would have never known that these guys were actually ready to play a basketball game tonight. Because they got absolutely humiliated. Humiliated tonight. The Brooklyn Nets had a 9-day window against a vulnerable Chicago Bulls team that they just beat last week. And they put up a performance like this tonight. This was inexcusable. Inexcusable. They couldn't do anything right. Offensively, defensively, coaching. And here's the problem. The Brooklyn Nets were playing two of their easier games coming in out of the All-Star break. Two of their easier games on the schedule. Against the Chicago Bulls and the Atlanta Hawks. And what did they end up doing tonight? They did it worse than just spit the bit. They sucked. They flat out sucked tonight. I mean, there's no way you could escape it. They sucked tonight. They get their doors blown off by the Chicago Bulls tonight by the final score of 131-87, and it was ugly from the start. This Nets team was pathetic tonight. There's nobody on this team that showed up tonight. Nobody. And I don't give a damn what Seth Curry and Cam Thomas did at the end of the game. Whoop-de-doo, you scored 22 and 19 points in garbage time. Dinwiddie was invisible. Bridges didn't have a good game. Johnson didn't have a good game. Thomas did nothing until garbage time. Same thing with Curry. Day'Ron Sharpe was committing more fouls than he was helping on an offense. Joe Harris has been useless. Royce O'Neal was useless tonight. Nicholas Claxton forgot how to block shots. Royce O'Neal, where the hell was he? Yuta Watanabe might as well just kept him on the bench. This was a humiliating, absolutely humiliating performance tonight by the Brooklyn Nets. Against a team they had to beat. They had to beat them tonight, the Bulls. A team that is 26-33. And they absolutely spit the bit tonight. This was a wake-up call to the Brooklyn Nets that this team is in big trouble if they put out performances tonight to the Chicago Bulls of all teams. They have a lot of harder games coming up besides this. You still have the Bucks. You still have the Celtics. You have Denver twice. You still have Memphis. You still have Miami. You have the Knicks coming up, who they just won again. Sacramento, Oklahoma City, Minnesota. Philadelphia still. Cleveland twice. And you struggled against a Bulls team that's under 500. I wouldn't have been as upset if this team actually showed up tonight. And it starts with coaching. This team was not prepared from the start. And Jacques Vaughn got a nice contract extension from till 2026, 2027. Well, guess what, Jacques? This was not a good way to start off the unofficial second half. This is not how you come out of an All-Star break. You get your doors blown off by 44 points to the lowly Chicago Bulls. And everything about this team that we've been worried about reared its ugly head tonight. They shot 37% from the field. Hell, they were shooting 20% for most of the game, and then they finally started hitting their shots towards the end of the fourth quarter. That's why it only became somewhat respectable. And the three-point shooting was abysmal. And the defense was horrendous as well. They gave up 60 points at the half. They had the Bulls shooting 57% from the field. The rebounding is a major issue with this team. 57-31. The Nets got out rebounded by 26. The personal fouls still rearing their ugly head. 25-15. The Nets tried their defensive lineup tonight and it blew up in their face. They couldn't stop DeRozan. They definitely couldn't stop Levine. They couldn't stop Vucevic. Even the bench players, Patrick Williams, Andre Drummond, Desmond Terry. This was a horrendous performance tonight by the Brooklyn Nets. There is no positives coming out of this game. None. I don't give a damn what Cam Thomas did at the end of the game. And maybe Cam Thomas should start some games now from now on. Because this lineup right now isn't scoring. The Dinwiddie, Claxton, Bridges, Johnson, Finney-Smith doesn't have the type of offensive power, firepower that a Cam Thomas would give. The only problem is Thomas is weak at every other part of his game. But he's so good offensively, they need him out there. You had 9 days to prepare for this game. And what a shock. Ben Simmons didn't play tonight. What else is new? Might have actually been better because he's been useless on the court. So he might as well be useless off the court. I mean, I expected them to maybe not be off to the greatest start, but you lose by 44 points to the Chicago Bulls? And the Bulls aren't the Pistons or anything. But I mean, the Bulls are not a good team this year. They're a team in turmoil. Zach LaVine wanting out. Vucevic not the same player. DeRozan was just hurt. It's like the Nets forgot how to play basketball tonight. They were just coming off an impressive win over the Heat not about a week ago. And this is how you perform coming out of the All-Star break? You can't shoot. You can't defend. You can't coach. You can't pass. You're turning the ball over left and right. Nobody's doing anything offensively. Nobody's doing anything defensively. This team performs like this, the Nets aren't going anywhere. They're just going to keep dropping in the East. And who's to say they're going to be able to beat the Hawks on Sunday? The Hawks were another team that's in turmoil. And they just beat the Cavs tonight. I mean, this team should have not performed. The thing that gets me the most aggravated, it's like this team was not even prepared to come into this game tonight. They were getting out-hustled on the court. They were missing shots left and right. They were just reaching their arms in and just causing fouls. They couldn't shoot. They were turning the ball over all over the place. They were not making the proper adjustments on the court. They were getting absolutely out-physical tonight in the terms of rebounding. Their bench didn't show up. Like I mentioned, I don't care what Curry and Thomas's points mean nothing to me because they all those points came at the end of the game in garbage time when this team was losing by 40 plus points. This is a garbage performance tonight by the Brooklyn Nets. And all the good feelings you had maybe about this team just went right out the window. And you could say it's just one game, they had a bad night, everything went wrong. No. When you have no effort out there, when you can't rebound, which has been the glaring problem of this team, and now they don't score, and now apparently they can't defend against the Bulls. If you can't stop the Bulls right now, how are you stopping the Cavs? How are you stopping the Bucks? How are you stopping the Celtics? Hell, how are you stopping the Knicks? How are you stopping the Kings, the Nuggets, the Heat, the Clippers, the Sixers? Can I go on? This was embarrassing tonight by the Brooklyn Nets. And I expected a little bit more effort coming out of the All-Star break than this. And now this team is 34-25. With a date with the Atlanta Hawks on Sunday. Another game they should win. Because they're better than the Hawks. Well, actually, I don't even know if they're better than the Hawks. Like I said, the Hawks just beat the Cavs. With a new head coach. They just fired their head coach not even a couple of days ago, and they beat the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight. And we're getting destroyed by the Chicago Bulls. I hope every single one of those players in the locker room are looking at each other and they're pissed off after tonight's performance, because that's exactly how they should feel. Because it's the effort, the lack of effort, the defensive or lack of defensive rotation. The fact that Zach LaVine was eating them for lunch the entire game. Turning the ball over all over the place. Committing stupid fouls all over. Getting dominated in the front court. And it's like nobody. It's like every single one of these guys were still on vacation. I mean, I'm trying to think of some positives coming out of this game, but there's none. When you lose by 40 plus points to a team, record-wise, a team that's inferior to you, that's a warning sign right there. And a team you just beat not that long ago. Now, I know the Bulls aren't exactly a garbage team, but they have not been good this year. But the Nets showed some things tonight that really should make you worried as a Nets fan. They did. The rebounding should be one big worry. The defense tonight, most part the Nets have been good defensively, but this is a warning sign. And the offense is a problem. Who is the go-to scorer on this team? That's the one thing Nets fans like myself are wondering right now. Who is the go-to scorer on this team? Who is the guy that when you put the ball in his hands, he's going to be able to go out there and score 20 plus points a night? I'd like to know. And I don't even want to hear the fact that Ben Simmons didn't play tonight. That's why we lost. We were probably lost by 50 plus if Ben Simmons played tonight. Sure, he's a good defender, but is he even that good this year? He spent more time missing games and invisible on the court. This was embarrassing. This was a game where they were not prepared to play. And if I'm every single one of those players, and I'm even Jacques Vaughn and that coaching staff, I'm looking at myself, and I'm looking at every single person in that room. And I'd have a damn aggravated face on with myself. Because you didn't just lose tonight. You got embarrassed after you just came out of the All-Star break and you had all these positive vibes. You got 2 days to fix it against the Hawks. Because it's not going to get easier after Atlanta. It's not. It's going to get a lot harder. Because after you play Atlanta on Sunday, you have the Bucks, you have the Knicks, and you have the Celtics in a 3-game stretch. Which I could easily see them losing all 3 of those games. So I want to know how you guys are going to respond tonight, Brooklyn. How are you going to respond after tonight's game? And I hope every single one of you are as embarrassed as us Nets fans are right now. And it might be one game, but there's a lot of warning signs that this team has been displaying when they traded away Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. 2 notable ones. Who is the go-to scorer? And who is going to rebound? Because when Nicholas Claxton isn't having one of those games where he's dominating the paint, there is nobody else on this basketball team that can rebound consistently, that can score on the low post, that can block shots. Sharp does it. Day'Ron Sharp does it from very time to time. Very rarely time to time. But he's still a 21-year-old developing player. And even Claxton has started to tail off a little bit. You wonder if the amount of minutes he's playing is starting to wear him down. But this was a really, really big smack in the face of reality tonight. And if I'm a Nets fan, what's your expectations for Sunday? So you guys let me know in the comment section what you thought about tonight's, if I even want to call it a basketball game, annihilation by the Bulls tonight against the Nets. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Turn on that bell for notifications of the next video or short dropping on the channel surrounding the Brooklyn Nets. And hit that like button if you haven't already. Because this was humiliating. This was horrible. And hopefully the Nets are going to step it up when they play against the Hawks at 3 p.m. on Sunday. I hope all you guys have a great rest of your night. Take it easy. And you guys know the drill. Go Brooklyn Nets. It's a Nets world. And I don't even want to say it.